I got into coffee the same way I bet you got into coffee, which is you liked coffee. I grew up in Northern California. My parents farmed pears and wine grapes. And so I grew up in agriculture my whole life and was all of a sudden drawn into coffee sourcing. And once that door opened for me, I realized this is exactly what I wanted to be doing my whole life. We are in our training lab in downtown Los Angeles in the Arts District.
You want to tell me what we're about to drink here?
I brought you some Panama Alita green tip geisha. Geisha is a variety of coffee rediscovered in the past 10 years and sort of has kind of been a hallmark for the kind of front end of quality coffee right now. It's pretty tasty. The pursuit of coffee for flavor is a new thing. Kind of historically, at least in the past 100 years, the way you judged coffee, the way you valued coffee was looking for defects, assuming there's some sort of general status quo that's like good enough.
Right.
Now the new way of kind of tasting coffee is the idea of finding the attributes in coffee, the flavors in coffee, and that's how this coffee got rediscovered. It had been there for 40 years, but finally people were tasting this coffee to see what was unique about it, and they realized, whoa, this coffee's amazing.
I think this coffee in the Alita estate is what a true relationship in coffee looks like. As an industry, and you certainly know this better than I do, but we don't describe coffee by roast, we describe it by flavor and profile. And the old saying goes, as a roaster, as a sourcer, as a barista, you just try to stay out of the way.
The idea of roast and where it comes into play, I do think, is that idea to find the best coffees in the world and then to roast it in a way, thank you, that highlights the intrinsic qualities of that fruit, of that coffee.
I look around and there's a bunch of sort of daunting equipment. Do I need to go out and buy a bunch of really expensive fancy stuff? Because I absolutely will. Just tell me.
There's a stigma around making great coffee at home that it is really difficult or that it only can happen in a cafe environment. The reason we have this equipment is because it makes great coffee efficiently, and we have equipment that needs to do that in a place that can serve 1,000 cups a day, but maybe in your house you're making 1 to 5 cups a day. The variables are still the same in what makes coffee great, and you are having technology that's going to allow you to also make it better at your house.
It is a remarkably easy equation. Hot water, properly ground coffee, a brewing ratio, and some way to time the amount of time the water's in contact.
That's all you need. This tool in particular, the precision press, is great because it takes the variables that can seem complex and it simplifies them. You control the water, you're taking it to boil or just off boil. It has a built-in scale, has a built-in timer. If you have great ground coffee and good water, you're there.
Yeah, you're done. It's brilliant, and it's double-walled so it stays hot, which was also a really nice feature. It's such a sea change that someone of that caliber is getting in the game and saying, listen, we're going to make this actually truly accessible.
That is like the front end of it all, which is that it's approachable, it's for everyone, it's not just for these people. My mom makes great coffee at home, and now she's spreading the word on actually how easy it is. You're gonna be able to consistently make great coffee at home.
Talking about Verve specifically, huge interest in coffee in Asia. There's been a huge interest in Asia for a long time. Asia consumes a lot of coffee. They buy a lot of really high quality coffee. And now some US roasters, including Verve, are taking it to the streets, as it were.
I've always had an appreciation for Japan. They're like one of the 3 spots on earth that I really have always kind of had admiration of how they've been approaching coffee culture. We're opening the store there. It's gonna be in Tokyo, and it is in Shinjuku, busiest train station in the world. Japan is really embracing and ready to embrace what's happening at that front end of coffee right now. They want coffee quality. They want the highest level.
That to me is very telling of where the industry is going also, and it's a very exciting opportunity for everyone involved, I think.
Yeah, everyone deserves great coffee, and everyone's going to be able to have greater access to it, whether it's institutional companies focusing on that, which we've seen a lot of in the past few years, more and more niche roasters and niche coffee companies opening up that are going to become even more specialized, and the idea of better technology and better access to making great coffee at home.
Thanks for coming down. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for sharing your beautiful space and your wonderful coffee.
Well, thanks for having me.
I don't want to go. I don't want to say goodbye.
We just make some more coffee.
That actually sounds really good. It was really good.